So, with Osama bin Laden being found, what now for the war-torn nation of Afghanistan? War critics on both sides of the political spectrum saying the death of bin Laden could be a window of opportunity for pulling American forces out of harm's way. But President Obama saying he was already committed to beginning a drawdown, but not until July.
We are drawing down troops, and we are transitioning. We're training Afghan forces so that they can start securing their own country. And so what has happened on Sunday, I think, reconfirms that we can focus on al-Qaeda, focus on the threats to our homeland.
Senator Roger Wicker, a Mississippi Republican on the Senate Armed Services Committee, joins me now. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning. Glad to be with you.
So there's been this growing chorus on both sides of the aisle that say that now that Osama bin Laden is gone, this is the perfect moment to get out of Afghanistan. What do you think?
Oh, I really disagree with that. View has not changed. I'm willing to put a lot of stock in what our generals are telling us. General Petraeus in particular, I think has done an admirable job there. He's going to be moving on to the CIA, but before he does that, we're due for a report sometime in late spring or early summer in person. So I think we've made progress. I don't think the death of bin Laden really changes the fact that we have a mission to do that's not complete yet in Afghanistan.
Let me tell you what Senator Richard Lugar said. He's the top Republican, as you know, on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. He said it is exceedingly difficult to conclude that our vast expenditures in Afghanistan represent a rational allocation of our military and financial assets. Your response?
Well, my response is there's a reason we're in Afghanistan, and it's 9/11. We unanimously went into that country as a result of the attack on our homeland. The task has not yet been done, and I applaud the president and the administration.
But I just want to stop you, Senator, just for a minute, because wasn't the task, as stated after 9/11, to break up al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, root out the Taliban, and find Osama bin Laden? Haven't we done those things to the best of our ability?
No, we haven't. No, the task was to make sure that the Taliban didn't get a toehold once again in Afghanistan, and provide a safe haven for al-Qaeda. That task has not yet been completed, and I'm for getting the job done. Let me point this out. We lost interest in Afghanistan once before. When the Soviets pulled out, we sort of forgot about Afghanistan. We paid for that with the loss of 3,000 of our citizens in New York and the United States and Washington, D.C. On 9/11, and 1,500 plus lives of our troops in the war since then. But we don't need to make that mistake once again. We need to get the job done and make sure that we leave a society there that will not be a safe haven for al-Qaeda.
But it sounds like what you're saying is that that task could be indefinite. Let me play for you something that President Bush said back in September of 2001. He had a different stated goal about the war in Afghanistan starting. Let's listen to that.
Our war on terror begins with al-Qaeda, but it does not end there. It will not end until every terrorist group of global reach has been found, stopped, and defeated.
It will not end until every terrorist of global reach has been stopped and defeated. That's forever.
Well, and that doesn't mean we have to have boots on the ground everywhere, but the fact is al-Qaeda is still a threat to our homeland. I think we're finding out through news outlets that they were planning on derailing trains. The effort of al-Qaeda to have attacks on the United States homeland is never ending, and so that battle continues. Certainly, I think it's very premature to say that just because we've cut off the head of this one snake, it signals some sort of end of the war on terror.
But you know, I mean,
actually,
Americans
nothing could be further from the truth.
And many people agree with you, but people like a timeline. Is there any way to put our our stated goal into a time frame?
You know, we didn't ask for a timeline in World War II. The timeline was when we retook Paris, and when we retook Berlin, and when Hitler was killed, and when the Nazi threat was over with. The timeline was less important than the task, And frankly, I think we're making progress, and I don't see this being an unending effort. But we will be fighting these 11 al-Qaeda organizations worldwide for some time now.
All right.
And we don't need to kid ourselves that the death of bin Laden represents any moment to take a break from this or to take a pass.
All right, Senator Roger Wicker, thanks so much for coming in with your perspective. We appreciate it.
Always glad to be with you. Thank you.
About 10 minutes away.